Welcome, family and friends. We are gathered here this evening to celebrate love. Please be seated. Tonight, on this farm, in the twilight, in the orchard, you have come here to witness the wedding of Mary Bowen and Tim Baldwin. Yet witnessing a wedding is more than observing a ceremony between two people in love. It is an opportunity to reflect on love in our own lives. Therefore, as we prepare to honor Tim and Mary, I invite each of you to embrace the magic of this moment. Open yourselves to feeling a little bit more love tonight. Take in the beautiful surroundings of this farm. Mary and Tim, this moment, like so many important moments, will pass too quickly. So I invite you to pause here. Look out at all those who have gathered here to celebrate you. Record this moment in your hearts for all time. These people who are gathered here, the people who sit beside you, who stand up beside you, this is a community of people who share a deep love for you. Thank you all for making the journey here. Thank you for coming together in the spirit of joy. Thank you for coming together to celebrate love. We open this ceremony with a poem by one of Massachusetts' most revered writers, Mary Oliver. Listen to her poem about the beauty of the natural world, the summer day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out on the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Tell me, doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Mary and Tim, you have gathered us here today for many reasons, and this beautiful farm in the rolling hills of Massachusetts is the perfect setting for your grand celebration. One of the most profound gifts of nature is what it teaches us about our lives. Here at Cornquant Farm, the rhythm of the seasons is obvious. The early spring peepers, the summer bees and flowers, the ripe apples in the orchards in the fall. Soon these hills will be covered with snow, and the trees, now vibrant with the flaming colors of autumn, will stretch their empty branches into the stark winter sky. Here on a farm, we are acutely aware of the cycle of life, and of death, and of course, rebirth. So, it seems particularly fitting that you would be married here, steeped in natural beauty, making your own metamorphosis now, in the height of what very well might be the most beautiful of the New England seasons. Tim and Mary, we come here today not to mark the start of your love story, but to celebrate a love that has been growing for many years. The springtime of your love is as sweet as that first daffodil that fights her way into the spring light. Most people here will recall that you met Tim when Tim journeyed up here to Western Massachusetts. Tim was coming from Pennsylvania to Off the Map Tattoo to have an artist he admired, Dee Dee, who stands up with you today, tattoo him. This chance meeting between the two of you was when the seeds of your love were planted. But nature reminds us a seed planted does not immediately bloom. All things grow in time, and the first work of a plant's growth happens unseen, deep in the earth. So it was with your feelings for one another, growing unnoticed until years later both of you finally recognized what had grown between the two of you. Your story begins with those deeply planted roots of friendship, admiration, and respect. Love recognized and embraced is a bit like the colorful frenzy of summer. It is hard to ignore, and so beautiful it is intoxicating. Once you finally recognized how you felt about one another, that is what your love felt like. Absolutely perfect. Tim, you explained it this way. You told me, what really convinced me, what I was feeling was, in fact, love is when I finally thought of the word love as the explanation and manifestation of my feelings, was that I couldn't wait to tell Mary that I love her. I wanted to tell her at that very instant that we talked, I will never stop saying I love you to Mary. This is absolute and total love. This is the kind of love that we see in the vibrancy of summer, the riots of color, erupting emotion, and the bright joy of nature finally getting to explode out into the world. The flush of joy is what led you, Tim, to plan a beautiful seaside proposal in Maui. We've all seen that photograph, right? Of you dropping on one knee on a beach in Hawaii, ready to ask Mary to spend her life with you. And then a wave rushed up. As Mary said, that moment was beautiful and funny and charmingly imperfect, much like our lives. That day, the two of you chose one another and agreed to move forward together forever, despite any waves that might come. Now we stand in the deepening colors of the fall. Your love has matured and has developed through the seasons. It is particularly beautiful to choose to marry one another now, in the fall, when you know that the love you've built is true and rooted and long-lasting. Mary, you captured this beautifully when you told me Tim was an amazing friend first and became the most amazing partner a woman could dream up. Tim and Mary, your life together may be charmingly imperfect, full of a long list of house projects and the boisterous energy of dogs and cats. But the life you have built is built upon seasons of love, growth, letting go, and welcoming in. Here in the autumn, you're celebrating both the seasons that have passed and the seasons ahead. And this year, this winter, you can approach it with a renewed sense of togetherness. This year, your home will be the cozy haven you've always dreamed of, where you will be one another's sanctuary, where you can hibernate together, where you can look forward to your next spring, your first as a married couple. So, as we move forward through today's ceremony and celebrations, stay attuned to the lessons of this farm, this world. Celebrate the beauty of this season and welcome the seasons ahead as you continue to grow together as partners in life. To step forward into married life, I ask you to state your intentions for coming together today. Tim, do you come here with an open and loving heart? Do you walk into this orchard and this marriage with the intent to offer yourself and your dreams to Mary? Do you promise to share all the joy and the challenges of this one wild and precious life with her?
I do.
Mary, do you come here with an open and loving heart? Do you walk into this orchard and this marriage with the intent to offer yourself and your dreams to Tim? Do you promise to share all the joy and the challenges of this one wild and precious life with him?
I do.
Wonderful. Then please step together.
The vows we make are the promises of a lifetime. Please make your promises to Mary.
Mary, these words that I speak may never truly capture the love, respect, and admiration I have for you, though these words are the promises that have always been a part of what it means to love you. I choose you, Mary. You are the one and have always been the one. It is my promise to you that I will never stop supporting you, bringing you joy, and being there to inspire you. I will spend each day crafting a more true and better version of myself for you, our family, and our relationship. When I am with you, I'm reminded of how beautiful life really is because you are that beauty. Our lives, separate and together, are born from adventure and passion. This is why I promise to always be the wind in your sails, to guide us and allow myself to be guided. The simple moments are what make our days the most memorable, so I promise to save you the last bite, to always open the car door for you, to leave the bedside light on for you when you fall asleep on the couch. Bringing you happiness is my duty, and making you smile is my purpose. Mary, I always love you for you. You are the very best friend anyone could ask for, and I am the luckiest man to have you by my side in life and now in marriage. My promises to you do not end at the conclusion of these vows. I will always work to provide you with more of myself, with more love, with more promises, with more of the beautiful life we strive for each day. So, lastly but simply, I will always see you, I will always hear you. I love you.
Tim, I don't think I could pinpoint the exact moment I fell in love with you because it happened so subtly. Our friendship had been growing for years, and it was as if one day I just woke up and realized the man of my dreams had been right by my side all along. What I do remember, though, is the exact moment that your story and my story merged to become ours. As fate would have it, it was when you told me that you were moving back to Pennsylvania that I realized I never wanted you to leave. I somehow got the nerve to tell you how I felt, with some encouragement from Sandy, and I waited for what seemed like the longest 7 days of my life to know if you felt the same. The last night you were in Massachusetts, we went out to dinner and enjoyed some drinks, and then as the evening came to an end, we exchanged goodbyes, and with a heavy heart, I watched you walk out the door. I lay down on my couch and reflected on all our time together and what life would look like without you around, which wasn't really something I wanted to think about much. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, my phone buzzed and quickly stirred me awake. Once my eyes adjusted to the brightly lit screen, I was able to read the 5 most incredible words you had ever said to me. I wish I hadn't left. You came back to me that night, and you kissed me for the first time, and after that, even though physical distance would separate us for some time, you never left me again. I have been grateful every day since that you chose me, that you chose to love me unconditionally and without hesitation. You chose to fight for me and saw the best in me, even in times when I didn't. And today, I am more grateful than ever that you choose to spend the rest of your life with me. There are many things I want to promise you today, but the most important is that I also choose you. I choose to love you unconditionally and without hesitation. I promise to fight for you and see the best in you, even in times when you don't. Today I choose to spend the rest of my life with you and to love you every day, every hour, and every minute as perfectly as you have always loved me.
Stating your intentions to a lifetime of commitment to one another is but one part of your transition into life as a married couple. The exchange of rings is another. It is an outward symbol of that unquantifiable love you have for one another. In choosing to wear rings, you are choosing to manifest the commitment to one another that you have promised today. Rings are a circle, the universal symbol of infinity, for a circle has no beginning or end. Today, we witness each of you accepting these most ancient symbols of eternity. As you offer each other rings, all here bless this moment. Today, we celebrate this moment, the moment you first begin wearing the ring that tells all the world, I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. Sean, please hand Tim Mary's ring. Tim, please repeat after me. Please accept this ring
Please accept this ring
as a symbol of my love and devotion.
as a symbol of my love and devotion. Not demotion.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I pledge my love to you.
I pledge my love to you.
Sean, please hand Mary Tim's ring. Mary, please repeat after me. Please accept this ring
Please accept this ring
as a symbol of my love and devotion.
as a symbol of my love and devotion.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I pledge my love to you.
I pledge my love to you.
Wear these rings, remembering the moment you place them on your beloved's hand. May these rings serve as a reminder of your union and the infinity of your love, and may they remind you daily of the promises you've made here today. Tim and Mary, you come together today to mark this most sacred threshold, this step into marriage. As we know and as we have heard, your story does not begin today. It stretches back into years. The strong foundation of your love is the key to the beautiful future ahead. So tonight, I remind you that marriage is not defined by this moment. Marriage is a string of days connected together, turning into years, stretching out for a lifetime. There will be many milestones ahead and many memorable days on this journey, days of great celebration and joy. Look forward to these celebrations, but remember this always. Marriage happens one day at a time. Some of those days are routine. You wake, you walk the dogs, you feed the cats, you go to work. Other days are extraordinary. You find your dream home, or your bus gets a flat tire while you're on your first vacation together, or you run a half marathon in Philly in the pouring rain. Today is another one of those extraordinary days. an evening on this beautiful farm that you and your guests will never forget. While you will mark today's milestone with a great celebration, it will be the line of days ahead that will truly define your marriage. We close tonight's wedding on this beautiful farm with a reading from Wendell Berry. Sometimes our life reminds me of a forest in which there is a graceful clearing, and in that opening a house, an orchard and a garden, comfortable shades and flowers, red and yellow in the sun, a pattern made in the light for the light to return to. The forest is mostly dark, its ways to be made anew day after day, the dark richer than the light and more blessed, provided we stay brave enough to keep on going in. Mary and Tim, tonight you answered the call to step forward into your new life together, into the world of marriage. Barry says the dark is richer than the light and more blessed, provided we stay brave enough to keep on going in. Mary and Tim, you have been brave enough to allow yourselves to go on the most vulnerable journey, falling in love. May you always stay brave in your love. May you keep on entering into the mysteries of love. Keep walking into the forest together, for it is in the depths that you will find each other and yourselves. Mary and Tim, you have found your forever home, a house in a graceful clearing in East Hampton. That home is but a place, a location. Tonight, you have promised to be each other's forever home. May your love be made anew day after day for all of your life, for you are now each other's home in the clearing. The time has come to celebrate your love with all the guests here gathered. Immediately following the ceremony, the cocktail hour will begin in the barn. Dinner, dancing, and much laughter await you there. As we bring the ceremony to a close, know this. These witnesses understand that you, Mary and Tim, have transformed since you entered this graceful clearing. Your witnesses attest to this. You have crossed this threshold, and you have agreed to share your one wild and precious life with one another. Therefore, because you have chosen one another, because you have pledged your love to one another, because your friends and family have witnessed your vows, it is my great joy and privilege to pronounce you legally wed. Please seal your marriage with a kiss.